Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, we'll be focusing on the tropics and especially Hurricane Lee's impacts to the Northeast and Nova Scotia, and we'll walk you through the weather forecast across the United States to let you know what you can expect out your door throughout the week. Make sure if you're not a new subscriber to the channel to hit the subscribe button down below as I cover North America here on this channel, and I will keep you updated on the weather forecast throughout the week. Also, be sure to press the like button, the thumbs up button down below the video, as this helps to get all of the weather information out to as many people as possible. Looking here at the North Atlantic hurricane season, it is just about here, folks. We're almost to the climatological peak of the North Atlantic Basin hurricane season, and that is next week. So we're getting up the ladder there toward the top, and we're going to make that slow descend down through October and into early November. So we're at the very top here right now, and you can see Hurricane Lee out here still spinning to the north of Puerto Rico. We have tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Margot, that's going to be a fish storm out here in the North Atlantic, and an investigation area that has a 60% chance of development coming off of the African coast. This is moving into what we call the MDR. That is the main development region, and that will be something we'll watch moving forward as well. But our main focus here is on Lee, and looking here at the warm waters across the North Atlantic. These are your sea surface temperature anomalies here. You do see lots of warm real estate out here, and there's a lot of water to speak about. And you see a lot of the waters here, blue anomalies in the Western Atlantic. There is some upwelling from Idalia, and especially stronger storm that we had of Franklin that did cause some upwelling there, but there's still plenty of gas in the tank for Lee to make its trek up to the north and still remain a hurricane off the northeast coast. So that is our concern right now. Looking here at the intensity guidance for Hurricane Lee, right now a major hurricane, mid-grade category 3, and this continues to progress further and further over the next couple of days as a category 3, eventually dropping back to a cat 2, a cat 1, and then eventually a tropical storm as we go further on in time here. Here's the latest track and uncertainty of a cone of uncertainty for the National Hurricane Center here. Right now puts Lee maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. Movement is northwest at 8 miles per hour. Maintains major hurricane status, at least Cat 3 status through Wednesday. And then as it turns to the north, it will drop back to a Cat 2 and a Cat 1. But still, look at that. By the weekend, 8 a.m. on Saturday, the National Hurricane Center does remain as a hurricane with this system, not too far off the coast there of New England. So looking here at the icon model, does a fairly good job. As we go into the day tomorrow, you can see this is well off the coast of the United States and just north of Puerto Rico. It's still moving to the northwest as of Tuesday. But as we get to Thursday, it's going to start to turn more northbound, and when it exactly turns north is still the big question. But right now it looks to turn north in parallel to the east coast on Thursday, and then by Friday night it gets pretty interesting here. The icon model has this down to a 954 millibar low. And this storm is actually left side loaded as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this for places like New York City, Long Island here, Hartford, over toward Boston and Cape Cod, and then up the coast of Maine, and even Nova Scotia, especially through Friday night and Saturday, for impacts that could be far and wide with rip currents, beach erosion, rough surf, strong winds, and very heavy flooding rain. All of those aspects are on the table with this system. So we'll continue to track that for you. And look at the wind field here by Friday night here on September 15th. Tropical storm force and hurricane force winds do surround this storm. And again, if this takes a little bit more of a west track than this model shows, those tropical storm force winds and those hurricane force winds will be closer toward Cape Cod and Boston and those areas. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's the overall track here for Hurricane Lee. A very nice clustering here, decent agreement on the track of the low pressure system, but just know that the impacts will be far and wide, felt outside of the general area of where the low pressure system does track. So just remember that as we go through the weekend. Looking back at the United States, we do have a frontal boundary that is moving across the middle of the country. That is a cold front, and that's bringing showers and storms here from Michigan down through the Chicagoland area there, through the Illinois Valley, down through the Central Plains and into the Southern Plains. Even a threat for severe weather down here into West Texas we'll get to in today's video. And here is the cold front, and that's continuing to bring some unsettled weather to the middle of the country as we go through the day today, including the threat for severe weather. There is a marginal and slight risk, a level 1 and 2 respectively, from this severe weather outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center across Lubbock, across Midland, and San Angelo, Texas here as we go through portions of this afternoon and evening. And this does include the threat for some good rushes of wind out of the thunderstorm, up to 75, 80 miles per hour, not out of the question around Midland, Lubbock, and San Angelo. Also, the threat for 2-inch or larger hailstones, the hen egg size or larger, and the outside chance that we could have an isolated spin-up tornado from San Angelo up toward Lubbock there, or just east of Lubbock. So we'll continue to watch that through this afternoon and evening. Looking at this, timing it out for you this afternoon, we have scattered supercells trying to develop up here near the Amarillo area back into eastern New Mexico. Probably hailers, maybe some damaging winds at this time, but as we go through the evening hours, we'll be watching out for some rotating thunderstorms possible with embedded supercells with this line as it crosses through west central Texas during the evening hours. This is going to take a run at the Dallas-Fort Worth and Wichita Falls metroplexes through the evening, and then they'll kind of fall apart, and the severity of the storms by early Tuesday morning will level off, and we'll see just more showers and thunderstorms that are garden variety rather than severe. Looking here as we go through Wednesday, look at the progression of the cold front. It moves all the way to the mid-Atlantic, the southeast, and almost to the Gulf Coast down here on Wednesday, and then it clears the Gulf Coast and the East Coast by Friday. Beautiful high pressure up here into the eastern two-thirds of the country with more active weather underneath from the Front Range down into Texas here, but that's all right. We need the rainfall down here, so we'll take it any chance that we get down here as we go towards Friday. And looking at the rainfall totals, very respectable here. Total rainfall accumulation now through next Saturday on the 16th of September. Very respectable totals. We'll zoom it in here to show you 4 to 6 inches of rain is a good bet for portions of northwest and central Texas here. Welcome sight near 3 inches in Dallas-Fort Worth, 3 inches in Wichita Falls, near 2 inches up here into the Amarillo area and Lubbock, and then down towards Abilene and even the San Angelo area. Yeah, we could be seeing 4 to 6 inches of rain with that bullseye of heaviest rains there in towards northwest and central Texas over the next week or so. And looking at those temperatures behind the front, yeah, fall-like temperatures are going to be showing up here. Temperatures already today are going to be in the 60s and 70s all across the northern and central tier of the United States. Ahead of the front, we're still going to be seeing some warm temperatures into the 90s here and 80s down across the southeast and into Texas. But watch as we go into Wednesday morning. Yes, it cools off big time. We see nice fall cool down here, open window type weather across the Midwest, and maybe even closing the windows in some areas, because look at how cool those temperatures fall in northern Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, and even the Arrowhead of Minnesota getting down into the mid 30s. I wouldn't be surprised in some valleys up here that if we get some patchy frost at times waking up for your Wednesday morning. So that is something to keep an eye on. And then as we go into Wednesday afternoon, those areas will rebound only into the upper 50s to low 60s, while the rest of the country for the most part is beautiful weather. 70s here, even Dallas down here to 82, 74 in Oklahoma City, 78 in Kansas City, and 80 here in toward the St. Louis region. So very, very nice weather for your Wednesday. And then that continues even into Friday as well. So the fall weather is here, folks. This is the cold front of the season for sure if you're looking for some cooler weather. And looking here toward the long range, this is into next week, September 18th through the 24th. We do see above normal temperatures coming back across the northern tier and even across the southern tier of the United States. But I promise you, it's not going to be the triple-digit heat that we've been seeing this summer. It's September. The sun angle is getting a little bit lower in the sky, so it's not going to be too hot. But there will be areas where it gets a little bit warmer than normal for September. That's why we see above normal temperatures favored. And it will remain dry, largely from the Great Lakes down through the Mississippi Valley here, and that's just going to exacerbate the drought conditions, unfortunately, for those areas. We will remain above normal for the Northeast from Maine down through portions of New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, and across the West and Southwest, seeing some above normal precipitation there around the Four Corners region, California, Nevada, and up toward Oregon there into next week. Also very active in Alaska as well. And looking here at the U.S. Drought Monitor, this will be released again on Thursday. It does look pretty widespread with the drought drought, an extreme and exceptional drought at that, across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi here as of the past drought monitor. I promise you folks, we will put a dent in this drought over the next several days with those rainfall totals I was showing you. But unfortunately, near the Great Lakes, the Midwest, and some of the Mississippi Valley here, the drought's going to actually worsen because of our lack of rainfall. Even though some of these areas are seeing rainfall today, it's just not going to be enough to overcome some of these severe, extreme, and even exceptional drought conditions developing in places like southwest Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, the Arrowhead, and down here into portions of, say, Nebraska, Kansas. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that drought. So hopefully we can get some good news in the next few days. That would be good for us. But if you want any updated weather forecasts on what to expect this upcoming winter, my winter forecast for 2023 and 24 is below in the description below the video. Make sure to go click on it, leave a comment, leave a like down below. Definitely much appreciated. And also, if you want additional weather forecast updates, follow me on Twitter or X at hweather420. I do post on that platform very frequently. Make sure to share this video on social media with friends, family, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, here, TikTok, anything. Follow me there on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter and share this video with friends, family, anybody you know. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already, so you guys can stay up to date on the latest weather forecast for your area. Make sure to like the video down below, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday out there.